Kang Yong-ho is the ruthless chairman of the Choisong Group, a man who races his sports car like he owns the world, because he basically does. He tells his secretary Sung-jae to set up a meeting with the executives. Across the city, a young footballer named Jun-hyun signs a contract with Choisong FC to play in South Korea's top league. He is hardworking, humble, and talented enough to become a real star. At that executive meeting, Yong-ho drops a bombshell. He is retiring soon. His twins, Jae-young and Jae-seong, are stunned, and the second the meeting ends, they start fighting over who takes over the empire. Yong-ho tells them he will watch them for 1 month before deciding, so the twins immediately start scheming to impress him and sabotage each other. One night at his private garage, Sung-jae brings Yong-ho bad news. Both twins have been hiding slush funds in overseas accounts. Disappointed, Yong-ho tells him to keep it quiet for now. The twins sneak into the garage to eavesdrop, but Yong-ho comes back unexpectedly, and they panic and escape in his sports car. Meanwhile, Jun-hyun calls his grandmother at her nursing home to tell her he made the team. She has dementia and does not recognize him at first, but the sight of his jersey brings the memory of her grandson back. Right after he promises to visit, Jun-hyun gets hit by that same sports car.
좀 봐봐!
The twins were too busy arguing to notice the red light. Instead of helping, they flee and use their family's money and power to bury the whole thing. Jun-hyun is rushed into surgery while the twins hide the accident from their father, and Yong-ho keeps their slush fund scandal buried too. Jun-hyun wakes up to find his career is over. The injury to his leg destroys his dream of football, and it crushes his grandmother's hopes along with it. Then it gets worse. The twins pressure him with a penalty fee for supposedly breaching his contract, trying to bury him in debt so he stays silent. Jun-hyun refuses to quit. He discovers that his phone call with his grandmother that night was recorded by a caretaker who made replay tapes to comfort her. Using that, he pieces together the accident, tracks the rare sports car, and finds the owner, Yong-ho Jun-hyun, storms into Yong-ho's office with his evidence and demands an apology. Yong-ho arrogantly refuses, but thinking his own twins caused the crash, he offers compensation and promises to cancel the penalty. Jun-hyun rejects it, saying he could have been the next Messi, so Yong-ho hands him a blank check and tells him to fill in his own price. Insulted, Jun-hyun walks out but then realizes he needs the money for his grandmother. He writes in an amount and heads back. At the same time, the twins apologize to their father for the accident. Yong-ho threatens to strip them of their positions. A panicked Jae-seong chases him and accidentally knocks him down the stairs. Yong-ho crashes straight into Jun-hyun, who was returning with the check. Their heads collide and everything changes. Yong-ho wakes up in a hospital bed, trapped inside Jun-hyun's body. His life has just started over. This is Reborn Rookie. Yong-ho's second wife, Seon-hee, panics over her comatose husband, with no idea his soul has been swapped. Seon-hee has a daughter, Bangul, who was sent to live in America years ago. Seon-hee begs her to come home, but Bangul refuses. What nobody knows is that Bangul is already back in Korea, secretly working inside Choisong, planning to prove herself to the family that always looked down on her. Yong-ho tries to force his way back into his own body but gets hit with a blinding headache and the guards drag him off. He runs into Bangul and is shocked, thinking she never came home. She slips away just as the twins arrive to visit the man they think is Jun-hyun, trying to convince him their father caused the accident. But Bangul learns the truth, that the twins caused the crash. Furious that her father is being blamed, she leaks the twins' involvement online. It goes viral and sparks public protests demanding the real culprits be caught. She then asks Sung-jae to keep her presence secret, because she has a new mission, to take down her greedy siblings. The twins fight back by pinning everything on their father. Soon Yong-ho realizes the public hates him, and the company's stock is crashing. For a man who thought his empire could never fall, this is a brutal wake-up call. Stuck in the wrong body, he decides to go to the press, and Jun-hyun publicly confirms that Yong-ho hit him with the car. He sacrifices his own reputation for the greater good, remembering how hard he worked to build Choisong. The twins seize the moment, promise Jun-hyun compensation, and apologize for the accident to clean up the company's name. Yong-ho slowly adjusts to being broke. He hates it, but he is grateful his young body gave him back his old energy.
찌릿찌릿 요동치는 이 기쁜.
Refusing to live poor, he returns to the hospital for his cane, which secretly holds the key to his safe. But the twins show up with a plan to keep their father unconscious longer. The man in Young-ho's body stirs, and Jae-kyung smothers him with a pillow. Nearby, Young-ho suddenly cannot breathe, but he triggers the emergency alarm just in time, scaring the twins off. On the way home, Young-ho breaks down, hurt by his children and guilty for how he raised them. Then he finds the check Jun-hyun filled in. On it, Jun-hyun asked for the entire Choi-song group, and Young-ho finally understands how huge that boy's dream was. Just as precious as his company was to him, he decides to give Jun-hyun what he truly deserves. Instead of demanding cash, Young-ho asks the twins for a job at Choi-song.
그래서 기쁩니다.
앞으로 잘해봅시다, 황준현 씨.
앞으로 잘 부탁드립니다.
In a twist of fate, he gets placed on the same team as Bangul, his own daughter, who has no idea who he is. She is harsh with him, scolding him when he cannot handle a simple Excel report.
회장님 막내.
그때 확 그냥 내가 회장 딸이란 거 말하면 죽는.
Young-ho sneaks into his secret room, grabs cash from the safe, and starts living in a hotel. Even struggling with office work, his business instincts are razor sharp. During a presentation, he rattles Jae-seong by casually naming the exact shell company he used to hide his slush funds. The power struggle heats up. Young-ho sends a secret letter to Sang-jae through a hospital nurse, pretending he briefly woke up to order Sang-jae to run the company temporarily. Handwriting experts confirm it is real, so nobody dares argue. The letter also sets a new rule. Anyone in the company can become leader based on merit. Right before the meeting ends, Young-ho, in Jun-hyun's body, bursts into the boardroom and declares that as an employee, he is ready to compete for the top seat too. The whole company erupts. Jae-seong grows cautious around Jun-hyun, who somehow knows about his slush funds, and he suspects Jae-kyung leaked it. Meanwhile, Bangul confronts Jae-kyung, who accuses her of chasing the heir position. To seem harmless, Bangul hands over her property assets, claiming she has no interest in the business. That is the only way she can move back into the family home and spy on her siblings up close. Bangul was never accepted by the family because her mother, Seon-hee, was once a housemaid who got involved with Young-ho even before his first wife died. Now that Young-ho is gone, everyone treats both women like dirt. Back in the secret room, Bangul catches Young-ho grabbing cash and gold bars. Thinking fast, he claims her father sent him to bring down the twins and that the money funds the investigation. She does not fully believe him, but she challenges him to prove it if he really wants to team up against her siblings. Busy plotting revenge, Young-ho forgets about Jun-hyun's grandmother until he hears she went missing. He finds her and feels responsible for her now. Watching how much the old woman loves Jun-hyun, Bangul gets jealous and opens up about her past, how her father coldly shipped her off to America to live alone. Young-ho wants to explain his reasons but cannot say them in his current state. On Bangul's suggestion, he admits the grandmother to the hospital where his real body lies and has the nurse watch over things. With a camera in his hospital room, he can now monitor his own body and see everyone who visits. Young-ho's revenge moves into the office. He pushes his timid manager, Bong-gi, to audit 3 of Jae-seong's shell companies. During the audit, he and Bangul zero in on a suspicious man called Mr. Song, Jae-seong's right hand. They discover Mr. Song is actually a plant working for Jae-seong's father-in-law, Mr. Na, who leads the rival TH Group. Young-ho never approved of his son's marriage, but he could not stop it and ended up making his enemy family. Mr. Song has been secretly draining Jo-seong's slush funds and handing them to Mr. Na, but Mr. Na plans to kill Mr. Song to erase his tracks. Young-ho moves first and saves him. On Young-ho's advice, Mr. Song meets Mr. Na and only hands over a crypto account with no barcode, the key needed to unlock the funds. Soon after, Mr. Song's car explodes, but he survives thanks to Young-ho's warning. Grateful, Mr. Song gives Young-ho the account and its barcode, then flees the country with his family using cash and gold Young-ho provides. Jae-seong panics when he finds his secret accounts wiped clean. Bangul realizes Young-ho is dead serious about fighting the twins and there is no turning back for her now. Mr. Na and his daughter Yoon-se want the exact same thing, to seize Choi-song from Young-ho's family. Their only pawn is the naive, business-clueless Jae-seong. After the slush funds vanish, they assume Jae-kyung sabotaged them. Jae-seong absorbs the losses but keeps trying to impress his father-in-law, this time with a promising port project. The alliance between Yong-ho and Bangul slowly grows, though she stays wary. At work, he starts defending her from arrogant co-workers, quietly creating a safe space for his daughter. To boost his standing, Yong-ho tells Bong-gi a huge lie, that he is Yong-ho's hidden, illegitimate son. Bong-gi believes it instantly and vows to help the secret prince overthrow the twins. Like her brother, Jae-kyung also hides a slush fund, but she uses hers to set up a foreign investment company and secretly buy Choi Song shares under a fake identity, securing her power without anyone questioning her wealth. Yong-ho spots the opening and works to turn the twins against each other. He offers Jae-kyung a port project proposal Bangul once pitched. Since Jae-seong already has a competing port backed by TH Group, Jae-kyung takes the deal to beat her twin. At the same time, Yong-ho and Bong-gi push the mayor to drop his partnership with Jae-seong, so Jae-seong's project collapses in front of the board. The twins are now openly at war. Visiting his own home, Yong-ho sees his wife bullied and treated like a servant by his grandchildren, so he quietly starts protecting his family. As payment for helping Jae-kyung with the port project, he asks for a piece of land that was taken from Bangul. Jae-kyung hands it over, thinking it is worthless, but Yong-ho plans to turn it into a tourist zone worth many times more. He gives the land back to Bangul to earn her trust and finally act like a father. He also arranges a private dinner so Seon-hee and Bangul can spend peaceful time together. But this kindness backfires and Bangul starts thinking Junhyun has feelings for her. To blow off steam, Yong-ho sneaks into the garage to drive his sports car again. Jae-kyung secretly follows and catches him. She has always been suspicious of how a broken footballer became a business genius, so she demands answers. Yong-ho pretends to be a poor kid obsessed with the luxury lifestyle, which is why he lives in hotels and loves sports cars. Then he flips it on her, threatening to abandon her and join her twin. Not wanting to lose such a valuable asset, she chooses to trust him. Then Sang-jae catches Yong-ho too. With no choice, Yong-ho reveals a secret only the two of them know, proving his soul is inside Junhyun's body. It is hard to believe, but Sang-jae cannot deny that Junhyun could never know these things, so he accepts it. Yoon-se keeps playing the devoted, business, uninterested wife. Jae-seong, ashamed of losing the port project, promises to keep Jae-kyung from the leadership seat and tries to get his wife a high position at Choisong. Still hiding his identity, Yong-ho visits his home as Bangul's colleague and watches his grandchildren treat Seon-hee like a maid. So he corners them pretending to be a shaman, warning that their grandfather's spirit is roaming and watching, and if they keep disrespecting Seon-hee, none of them will inherit anything.
앞으로 할머니한테 조집 사라고. 알아들어?
The kids immediately apologize to her. The next fight is over GF Solution, a nearly bankrupt tech company both twins want, since owning it strengthens their claim to the top seat. Yong-ho plans with Bangul and Bong-gi. Bangul tries dressing up to test if Junhyun likes her, but Yong-ho, seeing her as a kid, stays cold while still caring for her.
왜? 한숨 자려고?
He then meets Sang-jae again, who finally fully accepts the soul swap, kneels to apologize for taking so long, and joins him in a plan to clean the corrupt insiders out of Choisong. Using the old slush fund money, Yong-ho quietly pumps cash into GF Solutions' CEO to keep its value high, making it expensive for any buyer. Then, he deliberately shows himself standing with Jae-seong in front of Jae-kyung's spies, making her think she has been betrayed. Things get worse for Jae-kyung when she learns her twin got 200 billion won from his in-laws to buy GF Solution. Cornered, she swallows her pride and apologizes to the man she knows as Junhyun, begging him to help her win GF Solution and secure the leadership seat. She just walked into his trap. Yong-ho advises her to buy GF Solution for a staggering 300 billion won for a 70% stake. In return for his fake help, he asked that the remaining 30% go into a foreign company called Smile Investment. She agrees, not knowing Yong-ho created that company with Bangul as its CEO. Jae-seong fails to get GF Solution and disappoints his father-in-law again. Refusing to accept defeat, he sets out to expose Jae-gyung's attempt to murder their father. Meanwhile, Yong-ho, Bangul, and Bongi celebrate their win with a trip to the country of Ulivia. Back home, Eun-se takes over Jae-sung's director of trade position, worried his failures are ruining their plan to seize Choi-sung. She also learns that Jae-gyung once tried to smother her father-in-law in the hospital, and saves that secret for future blackmail. At home, Jae-gyung suddenly acts sweet towards Seon-hee, trying to win her support and voting shares for the succession. But Seon-hee already knows Jae-young tried to kill her husband, and she has even caught Jae-young's husband, Seok-do, a doctor, secretly working to keep Yong-ho in a coma. The Ulivia trip is actually a secret mission to sabotage Mr. Na's 300 billion won lithium project. The team sneaks into the hotel room of Mr. Na's men and finds documents proving TH Group planned to skim up to 3 times the promised value from the mine. They crash the gala party and expose the scheme right in front of the Prime Minister of Ulivia. Mr. Na is thrown out, but the Prime Minister refuses Bangul's partnership offer because the disruption embarrassed him. To win his trust, Bangul offers a Choi-sung subsidiary in America as a guarantee to legally take over the lithium contract. Since it benefits Ulivia hugely, the Prime Minister agrees to work with Smile Investment. Yong-ho is proud of his daughter and starts believing she is far more capable than the twins. Mr. Na reviews the hotel footage but cannot place the faces on Bangul's team. Though something feels oddly familiar, Yong-ho leaves him a mocking gift of stomach medicine, since this whole mess will spike his acid reflux. Furious, Mr. Na orders his men to identify the culprits. On the flight home, Yong-ho keeps looking at Bangul with pride, learning so much about the daughter whose childhood he missed. The moment they land, a tearful Seon-hee tells Bangul that Jae-gyung tried to kill her father. Realizing his real body is in danger, Yong-ho urges Bangul to start fighting in the open. At the next shareholders meeting, a confident Jae-gyung nominates herself as chairperson, and Eun-se surprisingly votes for her, all part of Eun-se's plan to trap her later. But Seon-hee challenges the vote and demands the seat stay empty until Chairman Kang wakes up, and the board agrees. Jae-sung accepts the delay too, just to keep his twin from winning. Then, Sang-jae drops a bomb, announcing a new strategic planning team of Bongi, Jun-hyun, and the chairman's long-hidden youngest daughter, Bangul. Everyone is stunned, including Bongi, who only now learns her real identity. Yong-ho finally admits to Bongi that he is not Chairman Kang's illegitimate son. Bongi is crushed and loses all respect for him, but Yong-ho takes it to protect his disguise. A flashback shows why Jae-gyung hates so deeply. Years ago, Yong-ho introduced Seon-hee as his new wife and baby Bangul as his daughter, right after Jae-gyung's mother died. Jae-gyung felt utterly betrayed and swore she would never accept Seon-hee. Back in the present, that grudge still burns. But Seon-hee has changed and she now stands up to restore order in the family home. Seok-do decides to side with Seon-hee and promises to heal Chairman Kang, asking only that she keep his wife from sinking deeper into darkness. Jae-sung starts sensing his wife is fake, sweet to his face but mocking him behind his back. He remembers begging his father to bless the marriage, and how Yong-ho refused because he knew how power-hungry Mr. Na's family was. Still, the naive Jae-seong keeps hoping she is worth fighting for. Jae-gyung tries to destroy Bangul's reputation by leaking old college photos that make her look wild, getting her shunned at the office. Bangul shrugs it off, used to worse abroad. Yong-ho remembers secretly visiting her overseas and punishing the people who harassed her. The nurse tells Yong-ho that Jun-hyun's grandmother wants to go home after learning her grandson quit football. He finds her crying at her house and his human side breaks. He finally grasps the full weight of Jun-hyun's shattered dream. Even with dementia, the grandmother still remembers how to cook, the only way she knows to show love.
천천히 먹어, 천천히.
Yong-ho's team brings Jae-gyung to her knees. When her GF Solution Tech business faces a shutdown from a lithium supply crisis, she is stunned to learn Smile Investment, which controls the Ulivia lithium mine, is led by Bangul. Then Yong-ho exposes evidence of Jae-gyung's slush fund transfers in front of the board, leaving her helpless. Cornered, she allies with Mr. Na, who now knows Bangul's team destroyed his mine. But his price is huge. The director of trade job for Eun-se, which means kicking her own twin out of the role. Unluckily, Jae-seong, already paranoid, overhears the plan to betray him from both his twin and his father-in-law. Blinded by betrayal, he sneaks into Jae-kyung's car and threatens to crash it and kill them both. But he does not realize she planned the whole thing so she can throw him in prison on kidnapping charges. Jae-seong is arrested in front of reporters, raging. Young-ho arrives and begs his son to snap out of it. For a moment, Jae-seong sees a glimpse of his father in Junhyun's body and breaks down, feeling he failed him. Young-ho never wanted this. He wanted his kids to compete, not destroy each other. That night, a massive headache hits him, a sign his real body is waking from the coma. Jae-kyung goes further, planting fake evidence to trap Jae-seong for embezzlement. On Young-ho's orders, Sang-jae tries to recover proof of Jae-kyung's own embezzlement from the company server, pushing an IT worker to hack it. But Jae-kyung anticipated it, and Sang-jae ends up framed as Jae-seong's accomplice. Jae-kyung then becomes acting leader before the succession. She assigns Bang-gul's team to run mass layoffs so the whole staff hates them. But the truth comes out. She laid off workers because she secretly sold Choi Song's hydrogen sector to Mr. Na and gave Yoon-se the director of trade job. In return, Mr. Na will help push through her succession. This is Jae-kyung's revenge on the father she believes always favored her twin. Young-ho realizes his harsh parenting created this monster. A flashback shows young Jae-kyung smashing a harp her father gave her twin, hoping he would scold her. Instead, he said nothing and let it slide. From that, she concluded her father would ignore anything she did as long as she won, and she learned to justify any means necessary. To save Choi Song, Bang-gul and Bong-gi disguise as cleaners to rescue Sang-jae from Jae-kyung's men. Then Young-ho proposes an extreme move. Take all the slush fund blame onto himself, clearing Sang-jae and freeing Jae-seong to rejoin the succession race. Bang-gul is so enraged she slaps Young-ho for sacrificing her father's name, never realizing the man in front of her is that very father. The plan goes ahead. Sang-jae publicly names Chairman Kang as the mastermind, and Jae-seong is freed. With backing shares from Sang-jae, Seon-hee, and Bang-gul's team, Jae-seong matches Jae-kyung's votes, delaying the succession again. One step from her goal and blocked again, Jae-kyung loses it. She storms into Young-ho's ICU room alone. Right after she leaves, the heart monitor alarms, and Junhyun's body is hit with agonizing pain from their soul bond. A panicked Seok-do calls Jae-kyung over and over, but she ignores every call, seemingly letting her father die. A furious Jae-seong confronts her, accusing her of murdering their father. Then it happens. Young-ho's real body is pronounced dead after his ventilator is removed, but his soul is still stuck in Junhyun's body, and he can only watch as his body is moved to the morgue. From the hidden camera, he sees Jae-kyung was the last person in his room and the one who shut off the camera. Grieving and heartbroken, Young-ho finds Junhyun's grandmother lying in the street, nearly hit by a car while searching for her grandson. His guilt is unbearable because Junhyun is now gone, trapped in his dying body. For a moment, Young-ho receives Junhyun's memories and finally understands how precious the boy's life was and why he asked for the entire company as compensation. A person cannot be measured in money. Seon-hee and Bang-gul are devastated to learn Chairman Kang's body was cremated without their consent, and the war for his fortune turns even dirtier. His will states that 98% of the remaining company shares go to whoever becomes the next chairperson. To clear her path, Jae-kyung frames Seon-hee for embezzlement, getting her arrested right after the funeral. Young-ho visits his own grave and apologizes to Junhyun for everything. He decides to play the villain to carry out his revenge, and to do it alone, afraid the unhinged Jae-kyung will hurt the rest of his family. He publicly betrays everyone and pretends to side with Jae-kyung. To win her trust, he suggests she use Seon-hee's arrest as leverage to force Bang-gul to hand over Smile investment shares. Bang-gul has no choice and gives up 30% so Jae-kyung will free her mother. The move destroys Young-ho's bond with Bang-gul, who now believes Junhyun betrayed her and starts to hate him. Meanwhile, Jae-seong swears at his father's grave to stop his twin. He teams up with Bang-gul to stop Jae-kyung. To earn her trust, he gives her a bag of cash and tells her to leave the house for safety, while he watches his twin and digs into her deal with his father-in-law. He vows to accept his own punishment once it is over. Still wary but valuing his skills, Jae-kyung lets Yong-ho keep working for her. He quietly asks Sang-jae to move his family to America for safety, but Seon-hee and Bangul refuse to leave Korea. After a night in a public sauna, Yong-ho discovers the two women have rented the house right next door to where Jun-hyun and his grandmother lived. Bangul's team senses Jun-hyun is hiding something and keep pushing him to open up. But Yong-ho holds firm. To keep them away from danger, he acts cruel and dumps menial labor on Bangul, hoping she will give up and move to America. The stubborn Bangul takes every task without complaint. An article surfaces with footage of Jae-kyung visiting Chairman Kong right before his death. After it is deleted, Yong-ho and Sang-jae hunt for the camera operator, who Jae-kyung had hidden. But Mr. Na brutally kills the operator right in front of Jae-kyung, then claims he holds the footage. He uses it to blackmail her, demanding Choi Song's core hydrogen technology. She sold him the sector but never the core tech because it is too valuable. Terrified, she finally asks Jun-hyun for help, swearing she did not kill her father but has no proof. Yong-ho does not fully believe her, but agrees to help remove Mr. Na. He plays double agent, approaching Mr. Na and pretending to betray Jae-kyung out of revenge for his ruined football career. To prove it, he must steal the core hydrogen tech on a hard drive and hand it over. Elsewhere, Jae-seong and Bangul search for the camera operator, not knowing he is dead. Inside Mr. Na's home, they only find Jae-kyung's hydrogen contract. On the way out, they see Mr. Na talking with Jun-hyun, and they are left confused about whose side he is really on. That night, Jae-seong visits Seon-hee and apologizes for the past, admitting he wasted his life chasing power. Meanwhile, Seok-do suddenly quits his job as a doctor. Jae-kyung assumes it is guilt over failing to save her father-in-law. Then Yong-ho cracks the mystery of the night he died. Jae-kyung did enter his room, but she left right after spotting the hidden camera. The real killer who pulled the ventilator was Yoon-se, disguised as Jae-kyung, who twisted her ankle escaping down the emergency stairs. Everything leads to the hydrogen sector. Yong-ho keeps his promise and steals the tech with Mr. Na's men, while Bangul rushes in to stop him and protect the company. Mid-heist, after triggering the fire alarm to clear the building, Yong-ho suffers a heart attack. Chaos hits when Mr. Na's men attack Bangul, slamming her head on the floor and knocking her out. Fighting the pain, Yong-ho carries his daughter to the hospital, while Mr. Na's men escape with the hydrogen tech. At the same time, Seok-do heads to a forest villa and meets Jae-seong. The shocking reveal, they have been secretly hiding Yong-ho's real body, which never actually died, and it is now stirring from the coma. On the night Yong-ho was reported dead, Yeon-se injected him with a drug and pulled his ventilator, but Seok-do arrived in time to save him. Unable to reach his wife, Seok-do called Jae-seong, and together they hid the body in a remote location. That is why Seok-do quit medicine, to care for Chairman Kong full-time. Back in the present, Yong-ho worries over the unconscious Bangul. When she wakes, her anger fades and she finally agrees to work with him. Meanwhile, Jae-seong learns the real killer was Eun-se, not Jae-kyung, and that Mr. Na's TH group plans to steal all of Choi Song's assets. He realizes his own wife tried to murder his father and he is shattered, regretting that he ignored his father's warning about her. Seon-hee also learns of Mr. Na and Yoon-se's role in Yong-ho's death, and the pressure crushes her. Following Yong-ho's advice, Jae-kyung removes Yoon-se from Director of Trade. Enraged, Yoon-se leaks an audio recording of the twins discussing the earlier attempt on Chairman Kong's life, the time Jae-kyung tried to smother him. But thanks to Yong-ho, Jae-kyung gets the real security footage proving another woman, Yoon-se, disguised herself in Jae-kyung's clothes on the night of his death. Once released, Jae-kyung is cleared and public opinion turns fully against Yoon-se. Cornered, Mr. Na and Yoon-se try to deal with Jae-kyung. Using Yong-ho's info, Jae-kyung learns Mr. Na keeps a slush fund in Singapore. She demands all of it, plus the return of the stolen hydrogen tech, in exchange for not reporting Yoon-se. To protect his family's image, Mr. Na is forced to comply. Yong-ho and Bangul then escort Yoon-se to Singapore to handle the transfer. In Korea, Seon-hee secretly follows Seok-do and finds her husband's still-breathing body in its hiding place. A tearful Jae-seong apologizes for hiding the truth.
아버지 또 잘못되면
And to protect her husband, Seon-hee agrees to keep it secret from everyone, even her own daughter. Once the funds are secured in Singapore, Bangul tells Jae-seong to release the footage exposing Yoon-se as the one who tried to kill Yong-ho. With a heavy heart, Jae-seong betrays his wife to end her ambition and stop the chaos. Mr. Na feels deceived, but instead of helping his daughter, now an Interpol fugitive, he selfishly tells Yoon-se to run and save TH Group's name. Mr. Na is arrested for murdering the camera operator reported by Bong-gi, but walks free on bail and influence. Right after, he orders his men to capture Young-ho, still in Jun-hyun's body, wanting revenge for being played. Beaten and bloody, Young-ho only laughs at him and declares he is Mr. Na's old enemy, Kang Young-ho. Meanwhile, Jae-young drinks alone in her office and gets a chilling call from her father's phone. Moments later, her father appears before her with a cold stare. Young-ho, having escaped Mr. Na, meets Jae-young as she hallucinates seeing her father, and demands his reward by presenting the check Jun-hyun once filled in. Then the truth is revealed. The figure standing before Jae-young is actually the real Jun-hyun, with Chairman Kang guiding him. Mr. Na's brutal torture triggered a systemic shock that sent both souls back to their own bodies. The instant he wakes in his real body, Young-ho rushes to save Jun-hyun and alerts a stunned Sang-jae. Bangul and Jae-seong work with police to find Jun. Jun-hyun wakes in his own body just as Mr. Na's men are about to dump him in the sea, and he tries to escape. Young-ho arrives by car and picks him up at the harbor while the police round up Mr. Na's men. Young-ho sincerely apologizes to Jun-hyun, who was actually aware of everything during his coma inside Young-ho's body. Sick of being a murder target, Jun-hyun wants justice against everyone who hurt him. Young-ho promises he will not shield his own children from the law and will take full responsibility. So Jun-hyun confronts Jae-young to demand she answer for everything. Jun-hyun finally reunites with his grandmother and cries, though she does not recognize him. Bong-gi had been caring for her all along. Seeing Jun-hyun now gentle and polite, Bangul and Bong-gi sense something changed in him after his arrest. The now repentant Jae-seong has imprisoned his father-in-law and set up a luxury apartment for his father's recovery, then leaves the country with his son. He leaves a letter full of regret, admitting he is too ashamed to face his father, and he has prepared everything needed to stop his twin. In an emotional moment, Jun-hyun reunites Bangul with the real Young-ho, and she breaks into tears as her father apologizes for never being there. He finally reveals he sent her to America to protect her from her siblings and keep her out of the power struggle. Despite her deep wounds, Bangul always believed he had a reason, and now she has her answer.
날 때부터 울지도 않고.
제가 해요.
그래.
The peace does not last. Jae-young finds Young-ho through her men. Meeting his daughter again, he explains why he never scolded her over the harp as a child. He did not want to hurt her feelings. He regrets his harsh parenting and the arrogance that left her lonely, and he sincerely asks her to make peace and come home. But Jae-young flatly refuses, saying it is far too late. Jae-young holds her father back to make him miss the succession. Bangul foils her and rushes him to the Choisong building just in time. Everyone is stunned to see Young-ho alive. All of Jae-young's crimes are exposed: the hydrogen sector sale, the embezzlement, the security footage, the attempted murder, and Jae-seong's confession about the accident. She is finally arrested. With that, Young-ho's earlier confessions no longer hold, and he is cleared of all legal consequences. As Jae-young tries to flee outside, Yoon-se, back in Korea and still a fugitive, tries to run her down with a car. Young-ho heroically leaps in and saves his daughter, getting injured in the process while Yoon-se is arrested. 2 years later, Jae-young has served her sentence, but suffers severe trauma and ends up in a psychiatric hospital, only recognizing Seok-do as her husband and losing all her other memories. Choisong abandons its family dynasty and is now run professionally by Sang-jae and Bong-gi. Jae-seong raises his son abroad and keeps in touch with Seon-hee. Jun-hyun lives happily as a youth football coach under a foundation Young-ho built for him, and he is quietly dating Bangul, having fallen for the woman who visited him so often while he was trapped in Young-ho's body. Young-ho, who survived his injury 2 years ago, still cannot accept his daughter dating. When he chases the couple through the stadium lobby and Jun-hyun scrambles to explain, the K-pop idol Ryujin walks by lost in her own world, and all three collide. In a hilarious twist, the crash sets off a brand new soul swap between Junhyun and Ryujin. The story ends with Ryujin, now stuck in Junhyun's body, sprinting off in a panic to chase down her own body. So the moral of the story is never argue with your siblings in a sports car. One bad traffic decision, and you'll end up swapping souls, losing your company, gaining trauma, and accidentally becoming your own employee.